Hello, my name is Candace Hopkins, and I want to talk to you about phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. And we want to talk about how phonological awareness and phonemic awareness work together to help children learn how to read. So, to start it off, I want to give you definitions of what phonological awareness mean and what phonemic awareness mean. So, phonological awareness is the ability to recognize and manipulate sounds through oral language. And some skills teachers use to help children learn how to do that is by using rhyming. I'm going to show you a pamphlet as I'm telling you. So you have rhyming, you have blending, you have segmenting, and you have alliteration and sound manipulation. So with those, teacher help children to learn how to. They make it fun so kids can learn how to use spoken language when trying to learn how to read. But then you have the definition of phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is the ability to focus and manipulate an individual sound through spoken word. And teachers use rhyming to help kids learn how to focus on just a word and break the sounds down in the word. So like k, at. You hear two different sounds. You hear the k and then you hear the at. So that's how phonemic awareness and phonological are different. Phonological awareness talks about how children are using their language to learn how to talk. And then the phonemic awareness breaks down the word by sound. So when you think of phonological awareness and phonemic awareness, do you think of early reading development skills? And how would those two connect? How would all of those connect, should I say, to help children learn how to read? Well, they relate because children start learning how to talk when they are infants. They listen to people around them communicate. They mimic the sounds that they hear. So at that time, kids are already getting the phonological awareness already. So what teachers do is help them build the sounds, a single sound, so that they can learn how to blend them together. And so with phonological awareness and phonemic awareness, when you come to the reading part, the best way to help them understand is teaching them rhyming. And it makes it fun for them. So when you're rhyming, the more children rhyme, the more they learn to read. So like with rhyming, you're able to um, decode the words, and that's how early reading development is able to co- relate to phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. Another thing is how do phonological awareness. Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry. How do early reading development and early literacy skills relate to each other when teaching children how to read? Well, with those two together, how they relate is children are able to have a bigger vocabulary. So the more words that children hear, the more that they intake all of that through their lexico, then the easier it is for them to learn how to read. So, and me saying that, I'm saying like if a kid is reading a book, and then they get to a word that they don't know, and they can't quite sound, they know maybe two or three letters that they know how to sound out, but they know the next word that's next to it. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep on until they come back to look at it to see to figure out what that word could be. Um, so the more good language comprehension a child gets, the easier it will be for them to start putting all those together to learn how to comprehend their skills. And when children understand what they read, they want to learn more. So the more that we get to them when they're reading, they're able to understand what they're reading, they're going to want it more and more and more. So now I want to kind of give you guys some information on how to help your children learn um, some of these skills and some activities that we may use in our classroom. So for some of the small groups activities that could be used, it could be print concept. So you want to know what's print concept? Print concept is where you take a letter and you kind of basically teach the child how to do that letter. So how I would use that is I would use colored sand and I will have cards, letter flashcards, and a child will pull the card. So if it's the letter H, their child will pull the card, put the card down, and look at it and trace using their finger how to form that H in the sand. And if I had a child that might need some modifications, I would do with this actual activity, I would do hand over hand, showing them the structure, the strokes, and how it curves around. Another small group activity that is used is letter naming. Well, when with younger kids, letter naming, how would you think about that? Well, I would use it maybe in a weekly letter. My class might focus on a weekly letter. We might try to come up with alliterations on how to use that letter. So that could be like Sammy Seal sung. So just like using all the sounds at the beginning of, and they have to form the sounds together. Just focus on the letter S. And how I would model that for a kid that might have some modifications, I might show them pictures of the pictures that might be Sam. It could be a girl and it has the letter S for Sam. It could be seal. It's a seal, a picture of a seal, and then swim. It's a picture of water, a child swimming in the water, just to show the kid this that each one of these pictures has the S sound at the beginning. Another thing is vocabulary. So, sorry, I'm looking down at my paper. So, how I would do vocabulary, I would do categories. I might have some animals, and I might have a cow and a horse, and I might want that child to tell me which animal. I might have a cow, a horse, and maybe a whale, and I would want that child to tell me. I might say which one says moo. The child might say horse, or it may say cow. It might go with the last word that they hear. So how I would modify that, I would say horse, cow. Cow says moo. Which one says moo? Just to help them understand vocabulary. And then you have rhyming. Rhyming, I do this in my class daily. So rhyming, I would make it simple. We would discriminate the sounds. So simple test sounds. Sorry. Oh, my things are right here in front of me. Sorry about that. So with rhyming, I will show them flashcards. I might have a flashcard that says mat. Then I will have another flashcard that says cap. Then hat. Which one rhymes together? I will show them all three of them. Which ones rhymes together? And maybe the child will pick out mat and hat. Shows them that how it rhymes. That's another activity that you could do. And then if it's a kid that might need some modifications, I might just show them the two pictures that rhyme and just go over it. Hat, hat, cat. Hat, cat. They sound the same at the end. Okay, and then with listening, a small group activity that I would use for listening would be I would partner kids up together and they would talk about a picture that they are given. And that way they're given joint attention to each other. They're able to listen to what each other are saying about the picture that they see. So they have to take turns for one, and then they also have to use their listening ears. With a kid that might need some modification, um, maybe the teacher would have to step in and help modify, like, what do you see, or do you see the little girl in the picture, depending on what the picture may be. That's how I would modify that. And then you have, I think, what's comprehension and speaking. Oh, speaking. I would look at a picture and I would ask them, well, tell me what you think is happening in this picture. And it could be a little girl walking down in the forest, and the kids could tell me, oh, she has a basket in her hand and she's walking. She has on a red dress. So that's how I would get for speaking. Then comprehension, I would do follow directions or answer WH questions. So I could read a story and I would ask, well, why do you think this happened? I'm giving them prompts so that they can use their words and tell me and what they think is why that particular activity happened, and